Black Mass is directed by Scott Cooper and stars Johnny Depp as notorious criminal Whitey Bulger. No, that's not a porn star name. This film chronicles the true story in which Whitey Bulger became an FBI informant to take down certain people he thought were his enemies in the mafia, and he ended up actually being protected by certain people in the FBI despite his atrocities. So it's a very interesting true story, but does it translate well to film? In some ways it does. For one, the performances in this movie, all of them, are amazing. This is Johnny Depp's best work in years. Even though he is still covered in makeup, he loves his makeup, he's giving a great performance in this movie. A very darkly comical performance in some ways, but at times one that is very leech-like. Like, you just like, oh god, like, just, you're gross, and and he really pulls it off. And it's really great to see him giving a good performance in a movie that's not Transcendence or The Tourist or whatever the hell he's been doing. Because Depp's always been one of my favorite actors, so it's really great to see him back in a great role in a movie that allows him to really shine. Kevin Bacon is great in this movie as well. Joel Edgerton, coming off his success with The Gift, gives another really great performance in this movie, one of his best. And it's also a beautifully shot movie with marvelous camera setups. My issue with Black Mass is really its emotional hollowness. It's a very empty movie, and when it ended, I thought, I enjoyed watching that movie. Those were really great performances, and there were some terrific scenes, particularly a dinner conversation that you probably saw in a trailer about a recipe and a family secret, as well as another scene where Depp is intimidating this woman and he's just vile and gross and you can feel it seeping through the camera. So what I'm saying is the movie has a lot of great scenes and it has a lot of great performances and it's a well-shot movie. But the story itself left me feeling kind of hollow. There isn't much to latch onto emotionally in this movie because it doesn't really have a protagonist. There isn't really a character that you can feel this movie through or relate to because almost everyone in this movie is a villain. Now in some movies like say Goodfellas, that worked very well because the dialogue was so good. The issue with Black Mass for me was that the dialogue wasn't very interesting. It felt very procedural. There's a lot of police investigating things they have to investigate because it was documented that that was investigated, so the film is showing us that it was investigated. A similar film like that is Zodiac, except David Fincher, his direction, and the script for that movie was so investing and so well shot and so fast paced. Even though it was a 3-hour movie, you really felt like that was interesting. In this movie though, a lot of that police procedural investigative stuff simply wasn't very interesting, and the pacing was very bad for a lot of those scenes, and I kept wanting them to get back to Depp intimidating someone or talking about his life philosophies, because those were by far the best scenes in the movie. So despite the fact that this movie was acted marvelously and shot very well, I found that the story was kind of hollow at its center. I didn't really have something to latch onto emotionally, and so I couldn't really ever see myself watching this movie again, because as soon as it ended, I have to be honest, it was very forgettable. I remember the performances, I remember certain scenes, but as a whole, the story simply didn't impact me because you never really had that one protagonist to latch onto in the movie because there really isn't a protagonist. So good performances, good direction, but the story itself just felt a little bit uninteresting to me and very empty emotionally. I'm going to give Black Mass a B-. Also, I'm really excited because now that my M. Night Shyamalan series of reviews is over, because The Visit came out, my next series is going to be for Steven Spielberg leading up to Bridge of Spies. Now, I'm not going to do all of his movies. I'm going to do a select few of his films I haven't reviewed before, and my first review is coming to you later this week. I'm looking forward to that. Thank you so much, as always, for watching, guys, and if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.